Namaste, everybody. Okay, namaste. All right. I just made a video, and then the video broke or cut off or something, so I guess that wasn't meant to be. But I'm just jumping on right now, because to tell you guys a little walk and talk story. What happened was, after Devin picked me up at my job yesterday, and I was like, he goes, "Do you want to go somewhere?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, hell to the yeah." So I was in 3 different schools, and there was good times and bad times. There was nice people and mean people. So, but it ended up with some nice people. So, hence that's why I gave the apology, because that's not me. I wasn't trying to, sorry about my hair, it's like all over the place. I wasn't trying to take back my story about my experience. I stand by my experiences, and I think everybody should always validate their experiences, good, bad, or ugly. But a lot of my subs, and my soul sisters, and my fellow empaths, fellow artists, fellow readers, and just subs and friends are from Texas. And I love them very, very much. And I think I offended them when I said that thing about it. Of course, I'm always going to be a New Yorker at heart. Not that, any New Yorkers are visiting me here. But actually, that's where I come into my other story. Let me just get in the shade for a second, because I forgot my sunglasses in the house, because I didn't really know I was going to walk that far. Okay, so yeah. So yesterday we went straight to the restaurant after work, and I was aggravated because when I got to work, this is how there's no coincidences. I got to work, and I get into the kindergarten classroom, and I'm sitting at the teacher's desk. I don't see any paperwork, lesson plan. So I'm like, oh, okay, another person that didn't know they were going to be needing a sub, and there's no lesson plan, so let me just pick up some books, from her library, and maybe I'll use those, and no problem. And I usually have paper on me, like construction paper, just in case. Long story short, I'm sitting at her desk, I'm trying to take a sip of my coffee, because it was really early, and some schools, I guess, open up later than other schools. I don't know why they do it that way, but anyhow, I was there way on time. Devin dropped me off, so Devin was already gone back home. This school is a little bit further away than my other schools. So I'm sitting at the desk, and I better just walk. I'm sitting at the desk, and all of a sudden a lady comes in, and a little girl. And turns out, I thought she was a para. And I was like, oh, this class gets a para. That's pretty good. No, not a para. She goes, I'm the teacher, and I didn't need you till the afternoon. I have a doctor's appointment, and I didn't need you. And I was like, oh, crap. They told me the whole day, right? So I still don't know if I misunderstood it on the phone, or if somebody put it in incorrectly, and they put it in for the whole day. So, they was trying to decide if I was going to have to go home, come back. But this was the same school that told me to come. I got in the car with Devin. I had a bad feeling. I called up the office and found out that they had canceled it. And so I don't think she didn't want me to, have like 2 cancellations. So even though it might have been my fault, but I don't think so. Because what happens is I call up a certain number, and it is answer machine. And they'll either tell you it's a half day, which I don't usually like to do. It's a half day from 7:15 to 11:15, or they'll say from half day from 11:15 to 3:15. Okay, this said 7. I thought it said 7:15 to 3:15, but who knows? I could be wrong. Maybe they were wrong. Maybe I was wrong. But she was saying, "Don't worry. Maybe we could find another class for you to go in during the day, morning time, and then you'll go back over there in the afternoon." I was like, "Oh, that's great. This way I won't have to go home and come back." Well, in the interim, talking to the teacher, she's very nice. At first I thought she was going to be mean to me, but she was really nice, and the kids were cute, the kindergarten. And then she started talking about how, she's trying to get healthy since the summer, but she's not sleeping right. And I was telling her about I have the same thing. And then she says she wears the mask, at night with that hose for the sleep apnea. But that's really terrible. And I was like, they wanted me to wear that, and I just refused. I said I sleep sitting up, and that seems to work. But anyhow, so she says I have to get a stress test, and I'm so worried. I'm so scared. I tried to avoid it. I was like, "Oh, don't be afraid of that." She said, "You had that?" I said, "Yeah." "And it's nothing." I said, "They're not going to make you run." She goes, "Yeah, because I could barely walk without getting out of breath." And I was like, no. They're going to put you on the treadmill. They're going to put it up a little bit. They just want to see how your heart rate is monitored. They're not going to make you, jog on it. And so she was so happy. She goes, "Oh my God, you were probably meant to come to my classroom early just so that you can make me feel better about going to take that test." She goes, "Because I have been a nervous wreck trying to avoid it, and I don't want to do it, and because I thought they were going to make me run, and I thought I would just die on the treadmill." I go, no. They're just going to monitor your heart and see how much your heart rate goes up and how much distress you might be in, to see how much oxygen you're getting to your heart." And so then I told her about Devin. She didn't seem to want to hear that, because Devin has like major problems, and he got the heart stent, he got bypass surgery, and then a heart stent 2 years later, and he's still not breathing good. So I don't know, we were just talking about things, and the kids were there, and she was showing me some things that I would do later with them. And then all of a sudden that bubble was burst, because principal came in, assistant principal I think, and said, "Come into the major office. We're going to put you to work at the office." And she was like, the teacher was like, "I wish you could stay here." And the kids liked me too, and she goes, "I wish you could stay here." And I go, "I wish I could stay there too." So I go in the office, and she was like, "You're going to make copies of this, this, and this." I was like, "Oh, okay." Which inside my body, I'm like, it's not going to be okay, because I screwed that up. I was a secretary like 3 times. I was a receptionist / secretary. And I was good at the reception, maybe a little bit good, not really that good. I was always doing something wrong with the phones. So I actually was not good at it. But anyhow, anything to do with the computer, the machines. And you know how copy machines are so, sensitive. And I was like, "Oh my God, this is like my worst nightmare." But then I was like, "Oh, you know what?" She just gave me like 4 copies of this, 100 copies of that, 30 copies of that, 50 copies of that. So I said, I'll just try my best and do it. Then all of a sudden, when I was halfway through that, and I was screwing that one up too, she comes back and gives me a whole bunch more. Right? So then I'm getting overwhelmed, and I'm standing there. I haven't eaten my breakfast. I haven't eaten drank my coffee. Then it was like lunchtime. It was like if I was in the classroom, you get a prep period, which is like 45 minutes. Then you get a half-hour lunch. So that's what I'm used to. That's what I need. So I'm not used to standing for 3 solid hours doing 1,000 papers. So then, to make it matters worse, she came in. I had to go get the secretary at one point, and she told me to come get her, but she's an assistant principal. I'm not going to bother an assistant principal. I'm just going to stand there and mind my own business and try my best. But she came to visit me, and she said, I need copies of this, but they're 6 pages each, and say she needs, I don't know, 85 copies of 6 pages. But I want you to do both sides, like page 1 and 2 go on the first page, 3 and 4 on the second page, and then staple it, collate it inside the machine. You know how to do that? I said, no, I don't. I was barely keeping my head above water with the just copying. I was screwing it up. It was going wrong, and I showed her once, and she was like, oh, that's because you have to top feed it. It's better when you do that. When you top feed it, it was going through, but then it was coming out like wide. It was terrible. It was just like, I was like, please, God. And then I text Devin, and when I text Devin to tell him, that I'm so upset I couldn't write anything else, the principal came in. I was like, that's not good. But I was waiting for the copy, so I had the thing down over on the desk, but she probably saw me twice doing that. Anyway, that's not good. Then I just started praying to my guides and to God, of course. And I just said, please let this go fast because I'm so hungry. I feel dizzy. I feel like I'm going to pass out. So I went to the bathroom on a break. Nobody said I could take it. So I went anyway, and I took my little Pop-Tart with some walnuts. I couldn't eat all of it, but I just took 2 bites in the bathroom just so I could get that in there. Then I felt a little bit better, less dizzy, and I came back out. But when I tried to do the staple, she wanted me to do the staple that's inside the machine, and I said, oh, I need to write this down. So she wrote it down. I still didn't understand it. But am I going to say I don't understand it? Because that seems stupid. So, sorry to go into all these deets. But don't worry, it has a good ending. So, I'm just like saying, I'm not going to stress over this because my back went into like I usually do like to stand, but not for so many, like not to ever be able to sit down and have a bite of your sandwich, or just, for 3 minutes, sit down and read a story to the kids. So I'm standing there doing stuff that I'm not good at. And it's 1,000 papers, or like those big reams of paper that you have to put in to the copy machine. I put in, because it got empty so many times. So I think there's over 500 papers in there. So I put in 3 or 4 reams of paper over and over again because it kept getting empty. And I didn't want to leave it empty anyway. Whatever I did, I'm sure she didn't like it. But at the end of it, when I thought I started stapling it after I was done, started stapling it myself. You know how long that takes? Then I realized the first part of the story came on the back page too, because when she pushed that button to make it double-sided, so now it's like page 1 and page 1. So the kids are probably going to make fun of that and be confused, and then somebody's going to be cursing me somewhere. But anyhow, I tried my best. Then I wanted to talk to her about the papers, but she goes, no, okay, you got to go into the kindergarten class. The teacher's getting ready to leave. I said, okay, do you want me to carry all these stacks into your office? She goes, no, just leave them there. Just go. And I was like, okay. She didn't say it in a mean way, but I just felt like, you just had me do all this work, and why am I not allowed to tell you anything about it? So I go into the classroom, and the teacher says to me again, I know it was meant to be for you to come here early in the morning, even though it was a hassle. She goes, because after talking to you for those short minutes that we were together, she goes, I feel much better. I feel like, I'm going to take the test. It'll be all right. And I was like, yes, that's right. It'll be all right. And it was definitely meant to be. And then she goes, I wish you could have stayed in here. She goes, because I saw you in the office by the copy machine, and they looked like they were giving you too much to do. That was ridiculous. And I was like, yeah, I think so too, but thank you for saying that, because I needed somebody to say that to me, because I didn't want to think, like, and the fact that I did not get a lunch or a prep at all. So I think that's illegal. And I probably should have said something, but, maybe I was the one who made the mistake and came in at the wrong time, but I really don't think so. Anyhow, I think somebody else put it in wrong, because I write things down into 2 notebooks, one calendar and the other calendar I carry with me. And that's what it said. Anyway, so I get in there, and she was very nice, and it seemed like she didn't want to leave. And then finally she did leave, and then the kids weren't great. The kids are not, they seem like they're going to be great. But then you're coming in the middle of the day. It's very disruptive for the kids. So, but they were okay. I mean, it was a couple hours. It would have been better if it's a full day. So I got it. The day, went by. And then Devin came to pick me up, and I was like, hell yeah, let's go to the restaurant. And so we go, and it's still pretty early. It's like not even 4 o'clock. And I'm not a good day drinker, but I had a glass of wine and a Caesar salad, and then like this lasagna thing, but I barely finished the Caesar salad, so I took it home. Barely finished the lasagna, took it home. And yeah, I'm not done with my story. Are you still here? Okay. I just want to be in the shade because it's really hot out, and I have a long sleeve shirt on that I'm about to change. So, long story short, long story longer. So I was drinking the wine, and I was enjoying it. But then Devin was like, hurry up, I want to go home now. I don't feel too good. And I was like, come on, I was in the middle of telling him my story that never ends. And I guess he got aggravated with that, and he didn't feel great. So, because his sugar's been bad, his sugar's been going really low, and he's been dizzy, even though he says he's been eating, a healthy breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Anyhow, so we get out of there, we go home, and I started feeling dizzy. So I said, before I feed the animals, I'm going to lay down just for a couple minutes, because I am super tired. And so I laid down, and then I do that video because that felt bad on me. I felt bad in my heart about, complaining about the teachers, because then with everybody that's mean to you now this week, I've had a couple of nice people talk to me and be nice to me. Like the librarian, she was nice to me. So maybe she felt bad about not saying goodbye to me the day before when I said goodbye, whatever. So I forgave her. And so I said to myself, you know what? I gotta make that little short video. And it was short, it was 4 minutes. Then I fell back to sleep. And after that, I woke up, I got out of bed. It's like 6 o'clock, 6:30, and I fed the animals. And then I went, then I was just putting the dogs out and stuff like that. And I get a phone call from my son. And he says, some of you who know me, I probably text you and let you know about this. He says, answer your phone. And so I felt bad because I saw him calling, but I was getting the dogs in and out. And I just figured, oh, yeah, I'll answer it. I said, give me 1 minute and I'll call you. But then he called me back and he goes, answer your phone. So I picked it up. I go, oh, sorry. I was just letting the dogs out, and I figured I'd call you right after. And he goes, no, you never pick up your phone. You always tell me that I don't call you. Then I call you and you don't pick up your phone. I said, I'm sorry. So then he goes, I have a surprise for you. I go, oh, really? What's that? And I'm real tired and drowsy and half drunk. So, I mean, I only had 2 glasses of wine and I didn't continue with it. So he goes, I'm outside. I'm here to surprise you. And I'm outside. And I was like, what? You are not outside. He goes, come outside. So I went outside and there he was. And I was like screaming. And Devin's like, what? Who's outside? What do you mean Thomas is outside? He's not here. I thought I was being punked. And then, because he gave me no notification, I was working all week in different schools. I did not clean the bathroom up. I did not clean the guest room up. That has boxes from Christmas. They're not mine. Anyhow, I was so embarrassed because I didn't get to clean anything. So he was starving when he came in, and he's a keto diet person, gluten-free, doesn't eat any breads, so he eats meat and vegetables and sometimes a potato, but no bread at all. So I'm trying to whip things up. He's like, no, I don't want that. Like, I asked him if he wanted fish. He didn't. I didn't have any chicken. So I was just whipping up whatever I had, mostly vegetables and these meatballs, but the meatballs were no good. Oh, and I gave him turkey. He ate almost the whole thing of turkey. Anyhow, oh, and turkey soup that Devin made. But he doesn't like anything with noodles. Yes, picky. Both my kids. She's a vegan, my daughter's a vegan, and he's a gluten-free person. So, anyhow, not easy to cook for. He's a little easier because he likes meat, and eggs and stuff. So I was so surprised, and then we just like spent the night talking, and I mean, he went to bed, fizzled out like 11-ish, 12-ish. And then I just stayed in the living room thinking, can't believe he's in the bedroom. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys. I know it took a friggin' long time to tell you just a couple of sentences, but at the same time, I went for a walk, and maybe you went for a walk while you're listening to me. Or maybe I bored you stiff that you fell asleep. Anyhow, God is good. Miracles happen every day. I never would have guessed it. I thought maybe Thanksgiving he was going to do it. But I asked him, and he said no. So, and now after he stays here with me and Devin a couple of days, he's going to go drive to Austin. He has a rental car. So he drove all the way. He was in Arizona. He got his eyes done. He was doing some kind of basketball camp thing. And then he got his laser surgery. He wore glasses since age 9. And he was basically blind. He was 200 eye vision. So he got the LASIK surgery. Now he could see. Now he has 20/15 vision. So that's a miracle too. And it's a miracle that he came home, even if it's just a couple of days. So far we went out for breakfast, brunch, and we're going to go for a walk, but I'm going to go change my shirt. So if you don't see me for a little while, because he doesn't like to come on my channel, I'm going to try to get him sneakily. But, yeah, I don't want to make him mad, but, yeah, so if you don't see me for a couple of days, it's not because I'm trying to ignore anybody. And also, all the comments from 2 months ago, I'm just seeing them now. I don't know why. I look at my comment thing and it says 0. You are all caught up. Then all of a sudden, all these comments, they must have been held back by YouTube. And it wasn't anything controversial. But anyhow, if you think I was ignoring your comments, I wasn't. I am just seeing them now, especially for DC, especially Flyer B and Bayo, Eileen Embry Root. So I'm just seeing comments now. So please don't, and that's everyone's comments. So sorry about my pimple. And my son got a pimple the same place on the other side of his nose. Isn't that funny? We have matching pimples. So I will see you guys later. Love you, everybody. And if I don't come on, it's because I'm trying to pay attention to him. Namaste. Baby boy is back. dog loves him.